Hi, this is Jordan. Today is 1 month on hormone therapy, currently going through it. And I do apologize if I sigh a lot and I'm not very good at talking and that I don't especially look that great. I recently went through a lot of not so great events. Last week, um, I had my dog die. The week before that, I had my favorite video game series end, and then 2 days ago, I had to talk a very, very dear and beloved friend of mine out of suicide and physically hold her in my arms as if it was the last time. And it was a very, very painful experience for me to go through. Um, kind of changed my outlook on everything for a very long time. But to push all that fucking luggage away, I'm sure that you can be very understanding of, you know, if I'm a little off. So, we'd like to hear about the changes that happened during 1 month of testosterone therapy that I went through. Yes, okay. I did not experience any changes until about day 5, in which my sex drive went up significantly, which I'm not going to complain, but also can be a bad thing at times. I wouldn't necessarily say that I became more sexual of a person, but I have had a lot more sexual thoughts than usual, and just normal teenage boy shit, obviously. Um, so nothing really changed. The second change that came was my insomnia actually came back and became incredibly severe. It's actually an ongoing problem now, my insomnia. So I'm gonna probably look into trying to fix that. But it didn't come back until I just started hormones, so fuck that. Because I bet my hormones are starting to screw with my energy and melatonin levels, obviously. Um, and then also, with not getting too much sleep, that also means my energy levels have changed. I'll get random shots of being incredibly energetic and being incredibly social and like all this shit for like 5 minutes, and I'll go back to being lethargic, and then I'll come back, it'll go away, come back, go away, again and again. So just weird ass energy shots. And then I had a fucking terrifying thing happen that made me almost want to call my doctor because that shit ain't normal. When I had started testosterone, I was on the last day of my menstrual cycle. And keep in mind, a menstrual cycle is supposed to wait until 28 days because that's normal. No, I ended up fucking bleeding 2 weeks after the end of my menstrual cycle, which ain't normal. And I also have very regular cycles, but I was ongoingly bleeding. Like, I was fucking, like, abnormally bleeding. Like, I was bleeding a whole shit fucking lot, is all I have to say. Is like, I was fucking drenched in blood, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. But I think my uterus was freaking the shit out. Um, uh-oh, that's not normal. Whew. And then, unfortunately, this is the worst thing that has happened because of hormone therapy. I'm unable to cry anymore. I have not been able to cry for 3 fucking weeks. I actually have to force myself to cry. I cannot fucking cry anymore. Like, I used to be a severely emotional person who cried at every last thing, who cried when he was angry, who cried when he was sad, who cried when he was anything else. No, I'm fucking, like, unable to cry anymore. And I mean, I can get stressed, but everything has just turned so fucking stoic for me. I can't cry. The only time I cried was earlier this week because of a very stressful event. And I had to basically force myself to cry because I knew that if I didn't cry, I would be a fucking weirdo because that's something that I had to cry at. And this isn't normal for me, as you can definitely tell, because as I told you, I used to be a severely emotional person who cried all the time. So I have been unable to cry, and especially with all this recent shit going on, I have to find myself to, like, force myself to cry. And it just really sucks. It makes me feel like shit. So I basically turned incredibly stoic. And I've also had people who asked me if my voice has gotten lower or changed at all, and because they've noticed something, and I've noticed it too. No, it hasn't changed. I've just gotten a lot more of a stoic, monotone voice because I've not been in too great of a place, as much as I try not to talk about it, but I'm pretty normal. I'm not expressing emotion towards it. I'm not going to yell or hurt anybody because of it. I'm going to keep it to myself, and, that's okay. I'm going to fucking fight through it. I'm not going to bring other people into the mess. But yeah, it's just that things, instantly got sort of bad. But things happen, and that's okay. We trudge through them. We definitely do. So basically, the only changes you need to know about are that my sleeping and energy levels changed, and then my sex drive went up, and there's also been a bit of growth down there. Yeah, sorry to be a little not safe for work. I'm very sorry. And then I've been unable to cry, and then I bled fucking profusely. And that's basically all. Nothing else has really changed for the most part. So, I'm sorry if you really expected anything, but we're not going to experience many other changes until the future. My friends, I'm really sorry. But that's all that's really changed, so A+, am I right? I've just become a stoic person. Yeah, kind of boring, I'm sorry. But that's really all I have to say, and I'll see you in another month. A+. Take care of yourselves, kiddos.